The tag team situation was really pretty hot through the whole decade. You guys started out from 81 to 87. You guys started out as champions. Blackwell and Patera had a run. Crusher and Barron had a run. And then from one extreme to the other, on August 25th, 1984, the Road Warriors win the title from Crusher and Barron. And the Road Warriors, obviously, at that point, were barely a year into business, and they didn't really have the idea, and they weren't real careful with the legends.
No.
And Bruiser and Crusher suffered in Chicago because it was the same way that Bruiser and Crusher got over 30 years beforehand.
Right.
We're bigger and stronger than everybody. We're going to beat them up, and they can't do anything about it. But this time, the boot was on the other foot.
Yep.
But talk about the Road Warriors' impact, because they, for a short time there, they brought some people in. They got so hot.
If they would have known how to work.
Oh, you'd never stopped them. It
would have been phenomenal. Yeah. Joe has said that to me over the years now.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him not too long ago, and he said, we didn't quite get it then. He said, and it's too bad. And he said, when I remember back, and we hated working with you too because you were smaller and that, but he said, Jesus, that one match in Winnipeg, you guys tore that place down. He said, it was all you guys. And he said, I have more respect, and I wish we could have known, what we know now and had good matches with you.
I think it was, God, it might have been Paul Ellering that told me the story one time, or maybe it was just somebody unrelated, but when they worked with Bruiser and Crusher, one of them went and just picked Bruiser up and was going to slam him, and that was like the first time in 30 years, and whoever told me the story might have been Paul, but he said he heard Bruiser in that voice say, "What are you doing?" And as he goes up. So they made a big impact,
yes,
but then they were there about a year, and they lost the belts to Garvin and Regal, and they went to work for Crockett. And Jimmy Garvin and Steve Regal, I thought, Steve Regal, who has ever seen Steve Regal? Whatever happened to him? Where is he gone?
I don't know.
What an insanely good worker.
Wasn't he good?
Oh, my God.
And he was a good talker.
Yeah, looked great.
Yeah. And with Jimmy Garvin, they were really a good team.
Yeah, and they had the pomp and the circumstance and the valet Precious, and that was a heat-getting team, and you could do something with them, and then they worked with Kurt Hennig and Scott Hall, and then it went to Buddy Rose and Doug Summers, and then finally the Midnight Rockers, which the Midnight Express and the Rock and Roll Express took as an homage. We were never mad about it because it was the best, ones who came up. The best of both. Well, they came up with the best of both teams. The Midnight Rockers. Okay, but what? I got to ask you this. What was your impression early on of Shawn Michaels, in the ring and out of the ring? Probably two different ones.
Out of the ring, I mean, him and Jannetty were too hard to handle.
Yeah.
They were, and Shawn has come up to me since and said, I got to apologize. He said, but he sent a tape in, and I saw it, and I said, God damn, this kid is really, he's got some potential. I mean, we can do something with him. And we were looking for another babyface team because Jim had left, and I got the tape of Jannetty, and I said, Jesus, this they're about the same size. This should work. If they're working as good as I see on the tapes, they should be fine. And they were. It's just Jannetty was worse than Shawn.
Well, Marty, I think admits that probably at this point.
And I think it rubbed off on Shawn being around him because it was hard to keep him straight. I mean, you just couldn't.
They were in for a run, and then didn't they go to work for Vince for a week or less until they got fired? Or was it the one? Was that the Freebirds only lasted the one night, and the Rockers made it a week their first time there?
Did they? I don't remember. I know they left, and then it ended up they broke up that team, and then Shawn got going on his own, and the rest is history with him.